Venom. Eddie Brock is a journalist at the Daily Bugle and is regular competition to Peter Parker. He does something to damage his credit, whether that is falsely accusing the identity of a serial killer or faking a photo, depending on your variation. He damns both Peter Parker and Spider-Man for figuring out that he did do something wrong and becomes very suicidal after the loss of his wife. The symbiote, after being rejected by Spider-Man, then takes a hold of Eddie Brock, who has a serious hate for Spider-Man, assumes the identity of Venom directly after that. But in order to know anything more about Eddie Brock, you have to look at when it first appeared. Venom first appeared in 1988. He has appeared in many animated series, as the Spectacular Spider-Man and as well as Spider-Man the Animated Series. He has only appeared in film once, and it was played by Topher Grace, to critical shame. Speaking of film, this video is centered around the Venom Solo film, which has had a rough go around the world so far. In March of 2012, geez, that feels like it was ages ago, Josh Trank, the guy who directed Chronicle and Fantastic Four, the one that no one likes, oh wait, no one likes any of them, was in talks to direct a Venom film. In 2013, Sony announced 2 spin-off films from the Amazing Spider-Man series, which ironically is on my desk right now. The Sinister Six, and of course, Venom. In 2014, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was released, and apparently the symbiote was in the Oscorp building at the end with all the other things that were in that room. Of course, I don't know that. I'm totally reading off the Wikipedia page. Also, one of the co-writers stated that they were toying around with the idea of other variations of the character, so potentially Flash Thompson's Agent Venom. Side note, Flash Thompson has appeared in all 3 Spider-Man movie series, but don't hold your breath. Then Sony hacks happened somewhere in there, don't remember, don't care. Then nothing. The Amazing Spider-Man was killed off, and Venom stopped getting rumors. Finally, by March of 2016, the script moved forward by Dant Harper, I believe to be his name, who wrote a script. 3 other guys started to co-produce it and gave it an R rating, much like Logan and Deadpool. It was announced to be set in its own universe with no connection to the MCU, and Tom Hardy, or Bane from The Dark Knight Rises and Max from Mad Max, was cast as Venom, which I believe is an awesome choice. Conflicting info as of recently has stated that it's set in the MCU and has connections to it, and that Tom Holland, the guy who's playing Spider-Man now, will reprise his role. There's also a release date set of October 5th, 2018, and filming could start as early as September of 2017. There's also already rumors of a sequel for this Venom Solo film, and we've barely heard anything about the original. That's the major things that we know about this film, and allow me to get into some of my thoughts real quick. So thank you guys for listening so far, and this is kind of what I'm thinking about this. I feel like the Venom film itself is not a terrible idea. I feel like Venom is definitely a character that people can care about and get behind, especially him being suicidal and everything going downhill in his life after one bad day, which ironically was Joker's whole thing in The Killing Joke. So just kind of think of it that way. And goes of some of the other stuff I talked about. Agent Venom is probably not even a potential at this point. I'm pretty sure that Tom Hardy will be representing the Eddie Brock side of Venom, and Flash Thompson will probably not be present in the film itself. Of course, this film also opens a perfect opportunity for you to introduce Carnage in, which for those of you that don't know who Carnage is, he is an eviler version of Venom, who Venom has to take down in several cases and actually team up with Spider-Man. So I feel like if they are going to include Spider-Man in the film, I just go ahead and go the extra mile. Speaking of which, if Spider-Man isn't in the film, that's stupid, because Spider-Man has to reject the symbiote in order for Eddie to even get it. Then also, the whole symbiote thing is that it grows on the power of how much you hate Spider-Man. So if Spider-Man's not even in the film for you to hate, it kind of becomes a redundant story, if you ask me. So I feel like Spider-Man kind of needs to be in this. Also a good chance, though, back to the Carnage thing, this is also another good chance to not only introduce Carnage, but introduce the other symbiotes, because there are other ones. None of them, of course, of note. I know nothing about them. I just heard one guy talk about them, so I figured I'd bring it up. Like I said, Tom Hardy, though, he's good. I like his Bane. His Bane's okay. Mad Max, done hundreds of other things. In regards to the MCU, though, just one of the few things I kind of hope does not fall under the category of MCU is it's an R-rated film, and I don't feel like it should have any connection for it just for that reason alone. I feel like this is definitely a Deadpool or a Logan situation where we can reference events and stuff like that, but I feel like it should really be set in its own universe. I don't feel like it needs to be with Tom Holland and this new Spider-Man Homecoming series. I feel like it's a redundant waste of time. That's just my personal opinion, though. And then finally, if we are going to include a Spider-Man, maybe it's time to hire old Andrew Garfield back to do another few rounds in the Spider-Man suit. I feel like it'd be awesome to see that story brought to life. You already set up the Venom thing, according to Wikipedia, in the you already set up the room thing with all the other Dr. Octopus arms and the Vulture and the Rhino suit. So apparently set up Venom somewhere in there. So if you're going to go ahead and go the full mile, I'd probably go ahead and bring back Andrew, because honestly, who cares at that point? But what do you think about this film? I feel like that I went through a lot at the beginning there pretty fast, but I feel like it's all good information that if you don't know, you need to know. Anyway, so hopefully you got an opinion on this film. I feel like Venom could be Sony's most successful Spider-Man film, which is saying something, because, you know, Spider-Man 2 is pretty good, and The Amazing Spider-Man's not bad in itself. Neither is the sequel, in my opinion. But that's just me. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is going to be Daktron, myself, signing out. Until next time.